CRM was supposed to improve customer relationships. Instead, it's shorthand for Customer Rage Machine. Your CRM can't explain why a customer's package took 5 detours? Reboot your inner peace and scream into a pillow. It's okay. On the ServiceNow AI platform, CRM stands for something better. AI agents don't just track issues, they resolve them, transforming the entire customer experience. So breathe in and breathe out. Bad CRM was then. This is ServiceNow.
BTW, FYI. Visit Nexplanon.com RN to learn about Nexplanon. It's an adjustable implant, 68 milligrams radiopaque. Or ask your HCP IRL. Okay, TTYL.
AI is forcing the return of the in-person job interview. More companies are returning to face-to-face meetings to counter cheating by candidates. Ominous digital threats.
So this is powered by an engine that writes 4 million lines of code daily, which is 4,000 times the amount that a top human engineer will output.
More than 3,200 unionized Boeing machinists went on strike Monday after rejecting a contract that would give them a 40% raise over a 4-year period. And I think that you and I should like think about what is our AI workforce policy. Yeah. I'd like to know who's built a great AI workforce policy.
What is going on, everybody? Ryan Leary, William Tincup here with another episode of the BARF. William, I promised I was going to come up with a new intro.
Well,
and I did.
Ryan, it's one of those deals. It is important.
It is.
But not critical.
It's, you're right. You're right. Unfortunately, again, you are right.
You had a busy week. Yeah, unfortunately. Here's the deal. You'll get to it when you get to it.
I will try. You know what? We're going to be at Podcast Movement next week.
Mm-hmm. Well,
we will work on a new intro. Maybe we'll find some tech out there. It'll just give me.
I'm down with that. I am so excited about that, to be a newbie at the conference. I'm giddy.
It's
so long. I've been at a conference where I've been a noob, and so I'm just excited to blend in with all the other noobs.
I'm excited to see you sit in a content session and take notes.
Oh, I won't be taking notes, but
mental
notes, yes. But notes.
So we got 2 things coming up. Well, 3 things actually. We've got Podcast Movement next week, which will go, and we do have one coming from the network, which is awesome. And then we talked about this last time, but it was at the end of the episode, so let's pull it to the front. We are now the official podcast network of HR Tech 2025. So we are going to be live in the booth somewhere in the expo hall. I think it's the front, the big booth, the whole network. So anyone from the network's there, we're all going to be there coming in. And so if you're there and you see us, please stop by, say hi. They'll probably ask for your autograph. They'll ask me to grab their bags. It's all good. We've had that happen once or twice. And I'm like,
I am a awkward autographer. It is social discord for me. It's weird.
All right. Well, there we go. And then we have our birthdays coming up.
Baby.
Yeah, both the same birthdays. You're 10 years older, 20 years older. One of the two.
You have to emphasize that every time, but that's yes.
Look, if you're the one getting asked for autographs, you got to win somewhere.
I think that's fair. Fair.
Kick us off. We got to get moving here.
Ryan, I got a great one for you just to start out of the gate. AI is forcing the return of the in-person job interview. More companies are returning to face-to-face meetings to counter cheating by candidates and ominous digital threats. This is the Wall Street Journal. So you go read all about that there if you like. So my take on this is as if humans don't have biases.
Okay.
I like in-person interviews for jobs where you're going to work at the office. Like if you're going to work for the bank, I like in-person interviews. I've always liked them.
Yeah,
you meet the person. If it doesn't zero out fraud in recruiting, but it does kind of cut out some of the AI bullshit. So yeah. I do. If it's a remote job, okay, that's difficult.
Mhm.
But you know what? If you're going to work for Chipotle, yeah, let's do the interview at Chipotle.
Yeah, why not? So
Yeah.
wait, so the AI, because of AI, we're being forced to get into the office to interview.
Recruiters, man, when you read this article, Ryan, you will love it because recruiters are like, it's creating more pain to do all of this other stuff. I just rather them come into the office because they're in the office in these cases. They're like, I just want them to come in the office.
I could see that for a job interview. I could see that. Bring your phone, text during the interview. All good, all good. There was an interview I had. This was, oh man, I gotta say 2003 or 2004, and it was with a bank. I think Commerce Bank, maybe. I think it was. They're the red one. It was that one.
Yeah.
And I remember going into the interview, and I drove like 40 minutes to get there, and I thought, I'm never gonna come here. Like, I'm never gonna do this. And I went and I sat like a good person in the interview, and I talked to the guy. He was late, mind you. Then he took a phone call during the interview and he excused himself the second time. And it made me think of it for whatever reason as you were talking in-person interviews about texting during the interview.
Their in-person interviews have never been great or foolproof. You know what I'm saying? But I think that when you read the article, it's like the recruiter frustration with dealing with all the AI.
I totally see it.
Thing. It's like, you know what? I'm just going to have him here. I'll go through, get him to the place, and then they'll come by or they won't. Just deal with it that way.
And then we're going to get to a place where they have masks and the masks talk for you and it looks so human it doesn't matter. All right. So, all right. So ADP, or not ADP, sorry, I'm going to go back. I read an article too, which is weird that I actually have an article that I'm quoting here. It was an article on payroll of all things. And so what got me was the title was the $400 billion HR tech boom and why payroll still prints money, or something around that title. And it was a good article. You probably think I didn't read it, but I actually did. I read this. The article itself breaks down the market and why it's big enough for both like legacy powerhouse, ADP, Paychex, et cetera, and then the fast growth companies, the one we know today, Gusto, Rippling, Deal, all of those to coexist and both print money along the way. So basically the gist of this article was that payroll is embedded in the DNA of every business. And you say this, you can't fuck up payroll. You say this all the time. And we, for some of the companies we work with, when we interview, we're doing a series on Heroes of HR. And it's like, why are we not interviewing executives? Well, because the people we're interviewing are doing the job. And when they push that button, that's a big deal. Like, you're pushing payroll for 1,000 people, whatever it is.
I remember having a lot of anxiety when I did it. Because once it's sent, I did Paychex and ADP. And when you hit that button, it's finalized. That's going out. Now, that might not be right, but that's going out.
That's what's going on. So we spoke with Pete. So Pete's on the network, Pete Tiliakos. We spoke to him on this previously. And one of the things, it's just recently actually, and what he said was owning payroll's data layer and using it to upsell benefits. That's where the big market is. And so great article. Check it out if you feel like reading about payroll.
We interviewed Tony at Oyster, the founder and CEO of Oyster HR, and he said, in fact, he led with, we're a benefits company that does payroll. And it's like, most people would have thrown him off. Like, no, you're a payroll company that has some benefits.
No, you're a benefit. Payroll is a benefit.
Turns out.
Turns out.
Alrighty. So cities across the U.S. are offering workers thousands of dollars and sometimes perks like concert tickets or gym memberships to convince workers to move to their cities and work remotely from there. Now, this is the Wall Street Journal as well. This is kind of an interesting take for me because normally it's cities that they'll put all kinds of economic incentives to recruit a business to their location, their Economic Development Corporation, the EDC, that they will invest to bring in Toyota North America, or, somebody like that. But this is the first time I've seen cities really their efforts are directed at, they want a higher talent base. They could work for a company in San Francisco or whatever. It doesn't matter. They want them in their city.
Right.
They want to increase the talent level. So the breadth and the depth of that. So I want to keep an eye on this.
That's interesting.
Yeah. It's your seat. Take your town, like Arlington for me. I think it's Hatfield for you.
Mm-hmm.
Think of them spending money in a way to say, we want to go and get, AI engineers to come live here.
Right. I wonder if that's future planning, thinking remote work at some point will go away. And if their base is here and we're getting them at a young enough age, right, out of school, and they're growing, putting their roots down, the manufacturing here, the tech companies can come here and all of that. And I mean,
I definitely think it's higher level jobs. Like I don't think they're recruiting. I don't think they're recruiting lower level talent. I don't mean that bad way. I just think they're going after, like Frisco, North Dallas. They wanted to become kind of a medical device hub.
Yeah.
So they recruited startups to come, give them free real estate, all that type of stuff. And then they've done the same thing with talent.
Yeah. And I've always said, if I ever moved to Dallas for whatever stupid reason, I would go to Frisco. It just feels like a really nice area.
It is. It is a nice area.
Yeah. So I like it. All right. I've got one here. Utilities and tech giants are in a standoff over who should foot the bill for surging data center power needs. I've never actually thought about this. This is why I'm here, and they're there.
I have, because we helped take a data center company public a long time ago, or Digital Realty Trust, and they just went around the country and in the world and buying up data centers.
Yeah,
and then made them green data centers.
Yeah, well,
so happy on that.
How do you make a data center green? Anyway, so
there's plenty of ways.
Yeah, so this is I think this is innovation outpacing infrastructure. We just don't have the infrastructure. We can't handle it yet. So we interviewed just yesterday, which will be out after we publish it, so it'll probably be a couple weeks. Maxine from Arist, and we spoke about literacy versus adoption. Adoption is still mostly focused on software, not infrastructure. So as I'm reading this article, which, they made great points, that if leaders and probably employees, if they don't understand AI's total footprint, the cost, the infrastructure, ethics, compliance, all of that stuff, adoption it's either going to stall or eventually backfire. And I think it just lined up well with the conversation we had yesterday and the article itself. So
don't bet against energy companies. It's my past experience with energy companies.
They're going to make money.
They're going to win because they could just flip the light switch. So, they're going to win.
Turns out they control your power.
Just, Meta will figure it out. Don't worry. Google will figure it out. OpenAI will figure it out. But yeah, don't bet against the energy companies. All right. So this is a direct quote right here. So it is difficult to find a motivation to keep applying. Zach Taylor, a college graduate who has applied to nearly 6,000 jobs since graduating. Dude, I got to go with it.
I got to call BS.
Hold on. Now, with a computer science degree in 2023. So 2 years. Yeah. And he's only received 13 interviews and no offers.
Okay. That's his fault. 100% his fault. Like there's nothing you can tell me to convince me. You put I get it. The job market's hard. I'm not discounting anybody's job search. If you're putting 6,000 job applications out there and getting 13 interviews, you're doing something wrong.
It's always good to blame the victim.
I'm telling you. You're just doing something wrong.
What was she wearing? I mean, really, what was she wearing?
But at what point do you say, okay, I'm at resume application 3,000. This shit's not working. I got to do something different.
I think, my take, first of all, this is the New York Times. So go read the story because it is a bit heartbreaking. But you're right. The timing and adjusting to market conditions are things for folks that are recently graduated or attend college and expect jobs on the other side. Like that promise that was there when you went to college, when I went to college, of on the other end of this, a job will be there. It might not be the job you want.
Yes, the job's still there. You just don't want to do it.
I don't know. I don't know if that's true right now, but the story goes on to kind of conclude with he's now applying to restaurant jobs until he figures it out. So it's a young kid, man. I mean, what did you know at that age?
I'm just saying 6,000.
I know.
6,000. First of all,
the bell should have went off. Fair.
That sounds like technology doing your applying.
It could be.
And the wrong use of technology and not doing it properly, not call all of this stuff we know you should be doing.
A computer science degree, even in a world of AI, I can't help but think that you could learn how to modify your resume to then make that work.
Somebody should have told him computer science went out in 2014. Number one.
Harsh.
I'm sorry, man.
Harsh.
I'm trying to be exact. I love you, brother. Give us a call. We'll help you. All right. So, sorry, Zach. I just know I'm going to go through it here very soon with my daughter.
Yeah.
All right. So, this is not massive breaking news, but I really like what these guys are doing. So I reached out to them, candidate.fyi. So they've got it's an AI fully automated scheduling tool. And so it does a whole lot of slick things where it's doing the group and, bookings, all that stuff. And it takes away all those bottlenecks. This isn't like a Calendly link or an automated email like there's actually legit stuff behind this. Well, anyhow, they are now fully integrated into UKG Pro for an HCM, UKG Pro HCM, sorry, on a pure tech partnership. So anyhow, the reason why I wanted to talk about this one is because UKG is big. They serve 80,000 plus organizations worldwide. 6,200 clients specifically use the UKG Pro. And that's where this integration is directly built into. It's
the old Ultimate software, Ultra
correct.
Pro.
Yeah, correct. So anyhow, that's it. It's just a really cool tool, and I reached out to them because I want to see it and play with it a bit. But we've been waiting for stuff like we've had so many calendaring tools in this space that hasn't made it, and they just became little bolt-ons. Maybe this one's a little different. Maybe this one.
It looks like it's brothers that are founders too.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yep. That's cool.
Yep.
Good for them. That's a great partnership. All right. How workplace toxicity played a role in the Titan submersible disaster. Maintaining a balanced workplace with good communication is critical for any successful business, especially when lives are at stake. This is Inc.com, INC. So, do you remember the Titan? Do you remember the bit? It's a submersible that was going down and kind of looking at the Titanic.
Yes, and then didn't it
years ago?
Didn't it blow up or something too?
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Yes, it did. Yeah. Now, if you want to read, this is on Inc. and it's free, so it's worth reading. This is like the case study for toxicity. So horrible leadership, unsafe business practice, safest protocols, physical intimidation, harassment, list goes on. Anyhow, unfortunately, the submersible that was looking at the Titanic ended up much like the Titanic with dead people. But someone kind of,
in fairness, it put itself down there.
100%. No one else put it down there. The company did. They're driving the thing down.
The owner was on there too or something, right?
It's all right. He was. And he was one of the main toxicity people. So, I mean, physical intimidation and shit, legit. This wasn't just I got my feelings hurt at a meeting.
Yeah.
Pervasive. So anyhow, read it because it is a case study in what not to do in leadership.
I think there's I don't know if it was a documentary or a small series on this, not on his toxicity, but that was certainly included in. That wasn't the idea of the series. But you can, the way they portrayed him, yes, definitely there.
Yes.
Yeah, there. All right, cool. So Newton Insights. This is interesting. This is an interesting one. You should tell us this story. Newton Insight rolls out the first cannabis trained AI. And so, yeah. And so this is really interesting. I know nothing about this. I read it and then I kept reading and then I kept reading and then I read it some more. I went to other just to find out really what was going on here. It's really interesting to me now. So legal cannabis is a $43 billion market today and projected to be $130 billion by 2030.
Those numbers are low.
Possibly. I didn't know what to expect. Anyway, so how does this title work? Not everyone going to go and get high, but there's nearly 430,000 full-time U.S. jobs in the cannabis industry today. That's only going to get bigger.
I think sometimes when people say cannabis, they don't understand that a lot of what's being sold at the stores or the dispensaries is not weed. It's not bags of weed like you would buy back in the day. You don't get a dime bag or QP.
Right. And that's where
it's edible.
Well, interesting. This is where I got interested in it.
Which is pain management and anxiety management, all kinds of other stuff.
Yeah, and so I read into it deeper because it's medicinal, obviously. Yeah. There is the recreational piece, but then there's skincare, right? And there's healthcare and all of this other stuff was interesting. But the other piece of this is the tax revenue. So in 2024, it was $4.4 billion. 2025 is expected to be $21 billion in tax revenue.
Oh, yeah.
This is actually...
I don't understand why states don't dictate it, but there's another part of this that's quite interesting that relates to work is sports franchises that still test for cannabis. When it's legal in Denver and you're testing players on the Nuggets or Broncos or whatever for that, it's like, well, wait a minute. If it's legal in our state, but anyhow. So there is kind of another layer of that that's interesting.
I just thought it was really interesting, the whole thing.
They'll federalize it in the next 10 years. And so that they'll take it basically off Schedule A drugs, Schedule A drugs, whatever it is listed as right now. And that'll just make that done.
Right.
All right. This is a direct quote. So if the requirements dictated by this dynamic do not align with your personal desires, you have every right to find a career opportunity that is suitable to your aspirations and needs. AT&T CEO John Stankley is doubling down on the company 5-day RTO mandate and a memo to employees. BusinessInsider.com. Now, first of all, the first thing I read was My Way or the Highway. Okay, that's cool. Again, you've said this many times. If you don't want to work at that job in the way that they do business, then don't take the job.
Don't take the job. Don't take it, or if you took it, leave.
Yeah, it's okay. They're not going. AT&T's John, he's not going to change. This is the way he believes that business should be done. Right, wrong, indifferent doesn't make a difference. But it is interesting that he's more public than a lot of CEOs. A lot of CEOs are doing it subtly. They're doing it through their ops people or HR or whatever. And no, this he's on for dues. Yeah.
Well, that's the way it should be. I mean, you're going to work here. This is what it is.
It is what it is. I like that. I like that the clarity. I like that. It's like, this is the job. You want to work at AT&T, this is the job. Yeah. If you don't want to work at AT&T, there's all kinds of other telecommunications companies.
Put your suit and tie on and walk into the office.
Or apply to 6,000 jobs. Yeah. Good for you.
Yeah, you can do that.
All right, I got one last one real quick. More than 3,200 unionized Boeing machinists went on strike Monday after rejecting a contract that would give them a 40% raise over a 4-year period. Yeah, that's 10% per year for the math majors. It's on CNN. So a couple things come to mind. Read the room. Robotics in manufacturing is a thing. in my opinion, they should have just taken the raise and been grateful for the gig. And I believe these are going to be the exact same people that'll be complaining in 10 years from now, that they don't have a job.
Right.
And also Boeing, tough couple of years. So
Yeah.
just put that to the side. But yeah.
Well, they will be working with Zach in about a year. So
Zach, call us. We'll help.
Zach, learn what you got to learn. Put together a coaching business on how to build resumes, and you can help these guys later.
Hell, get a job at AT&T if you
I know a guy.
I know a guy, John. Yeah. Hey, Palo Alto Networks. So we're doing acquisitions, ladies and gentlemen. So we got a couple of acquisitions that we want to talk through. Palo Alto Networks, usually known as PAN, announces agreement to acquire CyberArk. Both of these are publicly traded companies. The identity security leader. So PaloAltoNetworks.com, you can go look them up. I think they're the ones that I believe they built Siri. And they built a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah, that was a good documentary too.
That was a good documentary.
Yeah.
So one, it shows how vital identity verification and security is going to be and is right now to corporations. Like, that's the investment. And two, don't bet against PAN. When they acquire, they do it really, really well. A lot of smart people there. So That's one acquisition.
There you go. All right. So I've got one here. EQT is back in the mix here. So they scooped up NeoGov for $3 billion, including debt. So NeoGov is a GovTech HR software provider, serves all the public sector agencies. So the whole deal is worth over $3 billion, including debt. This is, so for those who are not familiar with NeoGov, this is one of the largest, that's what they do. But this deal is one of the largest, if not the largest, government tech deals or acquisitions on record. The last one, I can't think of the name, but it was like $2.5 billion, 2.4 or something like that. So this is one of the largest on record. So NeoGov is the HR backbone for government agencies.
Right.
Last year, so EQT last year acquired PageUp. They also did Remember. We talked about both of those. That Remember is in Korea. I think that was yours you talked about. Yep. But they also have Beamery, Handshake, HR Brain. So
do they have investments in them, or they have acquired them?
They have acquired. I don't know about Beamery, Handshake, and HR Brain, but yeah,
I think they're connected to them.
Yeah, but they've got their hands in a lot, and so they're building and growing. Yeah,
dude, NeoGov. I remember talking to those people 20 years ago.
Though they've been around forever, and they're not going anywhere.
It looks like they're going to get some investment and do some fun things. Good for them.
Yeah, for sure.
So this one's tangential, that one, Ryan. Without us talking, we've figured this out. Partner One acquires workforce tech leader Monster Government Solutions, which has been around.
Like Monster.com Government Solutions?
Yes. They spun it out a long time ago as just a government solution. And so had different executive team, the whole total spin out. But like, to see the government space get this hot with 2 acquisitions in it. So they're obviously their government solutions is more on the job side. So it does all the posting for all the jobs that are open and all that stuff, the requirements, clearance if you need that type stuff. It does all that stuff. Been doing it forever. So, and now Partner One acquires them. So the government market or industry got hot.
Popping. I mean, someone's got to do business.
Here we go. All
right. So let's jump into some research. We got a couple to talk about. There was actually a lot out there, and I narrowed mine down to just 2. First one we'll talk about is nearly half of employees report using banned AI tools on the job. Banned AI tools. So my question to you is, what is the banned AI that you would use? Now, I know you don't know what the company would ban, but what would you use? What would you think would be banned that you would still use?
Well, if I needed data that the company couldn't provide, to support something for me, I'd use that. Okay. If I were a recruiter and they banned Talent Neuron or some type of thing like that, I would use another tool.
Okay.
Give me talent analytics. I'd use whatever to get to the outcome of my work. I'm not going to let the banned lists get in the way.
Right.
I'm just still going to do it. I'll do it on my Gmail account. I'll do it on a different laptop. Whatever I have to do.
Okay. I don't know what I expected, but I thought maybe it might be a little darker. All right.
Well, it could have been.
All right. So the survey was conducted by Anagram. They're a security training company. They specialize in human-driven vulnerabilities, which is pretty cool. So it was only 500 people. Business case good, but not a ton. But here are some stats. 45% of surveyed employees said they've used AI tools that are officially banned at their workplace.
Officially, wow.
Officially,
Okay.
like there's a ban list is officially gone. 58% shared sensitive data, so client files, financial, internal docs with the banned tools.
Well, yeah, they're asking questions.
Yeah,
I've got a difficult client.
yeah.
Their client is so and so. Yeah.
They're using Signal.
Yeah.
Passing out the plans, right? So, sorry, I had to. Only 25% of employees say their companies provide strong support with tools, training, or clear guidelines around AI.
Way high. I don't believe
I think that number is
high.
high, but I also think that's an excuse. Banned is banned. Don't use them.
Really?
Fuck this. Anyway, yes. Really. I mean,
I was about to say. Yeah. First of all, this coincides. Do this swoosh sound.
Oh, you want me to swoosh it?
Yes.
Swoosh.
There you go.
How's that?
So Ryan and I do not talk to one another before we create the BARF. This is one of our bits, and this has been since we started this, is we don't compare notes. Because we just don't want to have the same takes on the same stuff. So when we get to the show, it's live for the first time. The next story in our research is 68% of employees who use generative AI assistants at work use consumer tools like ChatGPT, Microsoft Copilot, or Google Gemini, and 57% of those also admitted to sharing sensitive information with these tools, according to a recent TELUS digital survey. That's at hcamag.com. So, similar to what you're saying, I think the onus is on the company to provide non-shareable or proprietary LLMs for their employees, or this shit's going to happen. Like, if you provide them the tools, then I think you should expect them to use those tools. That's fair. If you don't, I mean, we want employees to use AI, check, but we've given them little to no guardrails.
Right.
And I think that you and I should like think about what is our AI workforce policy? Because you took us to a place like banned lists. Like, okay, all right, that's cool, but what's the policy? And are some of these things enforceable by termination and things like that? Like, I'd like to know who's built a great AI workforce policy.
I think we need a few people that can help answer that.
I want to dig into it because it's just fascinating. And then, like, how often do you actually, or do you update that?
Yeah. Oh, Bob Pulver, we're coming for you.
Yep.
We're gonna talk. All right. So iCIMS put out their August 2025 workforce report, which reveals that 24% of AI adopters save over 5 hours a week versus just 13% of non-adopters expecting similar gains. So I read this, and it was actually a good report. I'm not a fan of all of these AI reports. I feel like they're just a bunch of content crap. Let's get the content out there, people click and all that. But this one was different, a little different. It's tying adoption data to both recruiter output and the candidate sentiment on the entire process. So basically, here's what AI is worth right now, and here's where you'll screw up screw up trust on the candidate side.
Right.
If you're not, or employee side, if you're not using it right. So they surveyed over 1,000 people. They always do. They do a great job. But I thought it was an interesting survey. I'll give you a couple quick stats though. So job openings are up 5% is the workforce part. Job openings are up 5%. Applications have increased 7% since July of 2024. But hiring, Zach pushed that up. Sorry, Zach's gonna
Get your numbers up, Zach. Get your
Zach's gonna send me cease and desist. Remove the.
Zach, get them numbers up, baby. Come on, get the
Zach,
numbers up.
Come talk to us because we want to help you, brother. But hiring is down 10%. So, I mean, Zach's got a point, right?
Yeah.
55% of organizations report that the greatest value of using AI is in screening and assessment, and 40% find AI most useful for candidate matching.
Yeah, I could see that. That tracks.
Those are the three key areas, which is interesting because we just did a live stream with Shelly Steckrell on tech assessment with Global Pros, and so we'll I know they've got some stuff. Maybe we'll send it out to everybody. Final stats: 62% of millennials and 59% of Gen Z believe AI can speed up the hiring process.
Well, I like that.
Yeah, so they're open to it.
Other than Zach. Zach's on the other end of that.
Wouldn't it be funny if Zach doesn't want to do video interviews? And
that might be it. It could be something that simple. I don't want to take tests.
This poor guy.
No, I mean, seriously, it could be that simple as I don't want to do skills assessment.
Yeah. Maybe, I guess. Could be.
Zach. All right. Last thing that we have here in research, more than half, 55% of workers in the United States say they want more influence on what tech their companies use, according to a recent Gallup poll. So Gallup.com. This reminds me, when I read this reminded me of the Bill Parcells quote regarding groceries. Do you remember his quote?
I do not.
If they want you to cook the dinner, at least they ought you let you shop for some of the groceries.
Yeah, my kids must love Bill Parcells because they don't eat shit that we cook, and they whatever.
So he had a point, and that was talking about football, like being a head coach and being a GM. Mm-hmm. He didn't want to be the GM. He wanted to be able to have influence into what players they went after.
Right.
And you know what? Fair. If you want the guy to win, okay. But I think where it actually interfaces with what we do is include employees. Like if you're doing recruiters, like you're about to rip out an ATS, you're going to put in a new one. Use your recruiters and sourcers. Anybody that works on that side of the ball, like, yeah, they should be a part. Are they going to be the deciding factor? Are they going to be the check signer? No, but
this is where adoption and usage comes into play. I mean, sure, stick this tool right in front of me, but it's not actually what we need because some Goomba up there made the decision in procurement somewhere.
That's exactly right. Goomba's not. That's not and I was going to say racist. That's not a racist term, is it?
No.
What does it mean?
I just always say it. I don't always say. That's like a big term around here. We have a pizza place called Goombas. It's like a whatever. I mean, I'm sure someone's going to find something with it. Maybe you ought to cut this one out. No.
I've always thought of it as disparaging.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I just like a tooch, like a goon, like just a whatever, like a hockey. You know what I mean? Like.
Well, goon and Goomba, those are two different things.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right. Whatever. So funding. All right. RAMP. We talked about RAMP a little while ago.
Did he just say the N-word?
No, stop that. I just
don't
put no.
Just saying.
No.
I'm just don't leave it out there.
No. RAMP raises $500 million to automate corporate finance with AI. So we spoke about RAMP not long ago.
Yeah.
These guys are under scrutiny for its bid to secure a $25 million pilot contract with the government, the U.S. government, to get a part of the $700 billion, what they call the Smart Pay program.
Right.
So anyhow, this is one of the biggest private raises we've seen in fintech AI all year. I mean, in a long time. Biggest, yeah.
Pushing 300 million.
Yeah. So this pushes their valuation to 22.5 billion. It's New York-based fintech. One of the reasons why they're under scrutiny is their backers. So Rams backers include several prominent figures with ties directly to the current administration. So you have Peter Thiel, you've got Josh Kushner, Jeb Bush, a couple more that are in there, all major donors to the administration.
Is it low energy, Jeb Bush?
Yeah, I'm thinking, yeah, it is, yeah. Yeah. and they're backers of the company. So
I can see that. I mean, again, that's a separation of what should be church and state or editorial and advertising.
well,
We won't get into the Trump stuff as much as there's
influence there.
Hint of impropriety is impropriety. So you shouldn't have your buddies have a company that's then benefiting from a government contract. Okay, there's nothing new there.
Fully agree. All right,
500 million is a big number, though.
That is a big number.
Damn, son. All right, the Employee Navigator, a leading benefits administration and HR software providers, raised $100 million. That's only 1/5.
Yeah, it's nothing.
You gotta get your numbers up. Businesswire.com, so you can read a little bit more. There's two things: JMI Equity and Spectrum Equity print money as they invest in winners. So those are growth funds. JMI Equity just announced like this last week that they just raised or launched a new fund, a $3 billion fund.
Wow.
And this is like the ninth fund. I mean, it's like, this is nothing. So, but buried in the press release is the second thing. Buried in the press release is that they're going up market. So the money is going to be used in product and sales and, all the typical stuff, but it's basically they're in mid-market, but they want to go up. So good for them. Congratulations. Again, great investors. We should get to know Employee Navigator.
We should.
Because that's a great raise, but it also looks like they're doing some cool stuff.
Yeah. Well, let's go talk to them. All right. So Unmind secured a strategic investment from Telus Global Ventures. One thing I've been tracking over probably the last half a year to a year has been the work in the tech, specifically in mental health platforms, because they can be a real benefit. And a lot of companies, I think today, they offer them. I don't know that they stand behind them and truly.
They offer them as an EAP.
Yeah,
so,
right.
So it's a resource,
but it's not
software. Yeah.
Right. So Unmind, they're chasing this at scale. They're going for deep integrations, and really the play is to bake mental health access into the system as a core benefit.
Smart.
Yeah. So I like it. I thought it was worth a mention. The investment wasn't disclosed, which I know you hate. So I knew you weren't going to talk about this one. So I'm like, all right, I got one he's not going to talk about.
Yeah, but one that Workday invested in, Workday Ventures invested in, but they didn't say the price. Yeah. I'm like, I can't.
Yeah, but I like the play.
I love this because it should be software. So even if it's software that connects you to humans, fine.
Right.
But it should be software.
Yep.
Cool. Good for them. Teco, São Paulo, Brazil-based HR technology startup that provides payroll and HR automation solutions has raised $18 million in funding. So we're down from 500 to 18. So we're scraping the barrel here, ladies and gentlemen. This is at the sasnews.com. So Brazil, check. And one of the things that was really interesting to read was they've created payroll agents. So agentic AI for payroll.
I like it.
I'd like to know more about that.
Yeah.
So if for no other reason that I'd like to know more about, like, okay, what are you doing with that? Which again gets us back to what you said early on about you got to get payroll right. So maybe agentic AI is a way of confirming things in the process of saying, hey, this is the days you took off. This is what you have in RTO, blah, blah, blah. Confirm, deny, whatever. But anyhow, cool play. I don't know if they'll ever make it out of South America or even out of Brazil. But it's a cool play.
They got some cash, so there you go. All right, last one for the day. Julius AI. I like the name Julius AI.
Julius.
$10 million seed round. This is led by Bessemer Ventures partner. Bessemer. with participation from Y Combinator, Horizon, VC, and a couple of others. So
that's badass.
Yeah, so the backers here are important. So outside of the ones I just mentioned, they've also landed a few notable angel investors, including the founders of Notion, Verseal, is it Replit, but Perplexity, Intercom, Dropbox, Zapier, and Twilio.
Damn. So who's suing Silicon Valley?
That's a pretty good set of angel investors, right? So they're doing something here. They've got something cooking, and I'm curious. So this is like having a data scientist on demand. So you plug in your data, you ask it some questions in plain English like we do, and then it instantly runs the analysis, creates visuals, gives you answers, all that stuff that we're used to today.
I love that.
Here, check this out though. So this is powered by an engine that writes 4 million lines of code daily, which is 4,000 times the amount that a top human engineer will output. 4 million lines of code a day.
Zach, sorry about that job thing, man. That's not going to work out.
I told you don't go to comp sci, Zach. Come on now. Good Lord. I'm sorry, Zach. We love you, brother. Come to us. We'll put you on. We'll talk. We'll
use Zach's name in the title of the show.
Oh,
so it's search optimized.
So bad.
Hey, this has been a wonderful show, Ron.
It has, man. Next week we're out, so I will see you in just a couple of days.
Be down in Texas, babe.
We'll be down there, because
yeah.
All right. Yeah. So don't wear jeans.
No.
I'm gonna roll into this event with shorts and a t-shirt.
I think I am. That's what I'm wearing.
I don't know if they like that. I don't know. I don't know what these podcasters are like. I'm assuming they're like us.
I can't imagine that there's not a lot of vaping going on at this.
I mean, they're not going to want to look at wear suits and ties and stuff.
I think we'll know who the media executives are at this event.
Yeah,
easily. Yeah,
we'll go to them. All right. Well, thank you all for listening. We'll see you next time.